Well, all right, and welcome back to another exciting episode of PlanetGenX! We're so happy that you've joined us because, man, I'm upset. I'm a little upset, and I'll tell you why I'm upset. It has to do with Doctor Who. I'll tell you why I'm upset in just a minute, but before we do that, please, before we get into all the action, I want you to hit that subscribe button, please. If you've watched the episode and you think you like what you've seen, give us a like as well. If you don't like the episode, give us a thumbs down. That'll work too. We don't care. It'll take either one.
Just play with us. Interact.
Yeah,
right?
Interact. Give us a comment. That'd be great too. Let us know how things are going. You know, if you're interested in something or want to correct us on anything, just give us a little comment there and we'll be happy to like it or dislike it or respond to it or whatever we do to it.
Right.
Make passionate love to it if we want to. But with that said, yes, I'm upset, man. And today I am declaring Doctor Who dead. It's over, baby. Done. No more Doctor Who. Doctor Who has failed. Not even David Tennant could save it now.
Okay.
So this is going based off this last episode, Wild Blue Yonder, which was just an utter piece of garbage. And I really don't have anything good to say about it. We definitely got the tease of the doctor's going to be gay. That's apparently coming. We got that little tease. Is that who I am now? No, that's who your next guy is. But thanks for leading us to it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, dude. We'll watch this last episode with Tennant in it and hope that maybe something good will come out of it.
I don't know, man. I'm in utter disagreement. For me, it's all about the writing. The writing has just been blah.
Oh, the writing sucked. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have anything to do with... This isn't about virtue signaling. This is just about a shit show. This was an absolute piss-poor episode. It was stupid.
It is, though, right? Because it's always like virtue signaling, like you said. It's the problem with writing now. It's like, you know, you've got this check mark that you've got to check off.
Yeah, you got your token things you got to hit. Right,
and it interferes with the writing process. People, horrible people, can make really good shows. It's just, it boggles the mind how that works for me.
Yeah.
But you know, I didn't have so much a problem with that. It was just, you know, like I said, lazy writing. And, you know, you could tell that a lot of people were really excited about having an episode where it's just those two actors, basically.
And totally squandered.
Yeah, totally. Could have done so much more with it.
Oh, yeah.
And have done so much more with, you know, a variety of other episodes with other doctors, right?
Yeah. And again, it's like... And here, just to comment on, like, Tennant saying, oh, this is the farthest I've ever been. I was like, yeah, I've heard this before from you. The whole thing was just weak sauce. And, you know, I am right, I think, about the Celestial Toymaker being in this last episode. That's who Doogie Howser's going to portray. And what can I say? I loved what I've seen of the original. I read the book of the old story. It was really good. I hope that this is good, because so far, Star Beast was an okay, like, Doctor Who story, as far as just a random Doctor Who story, if you just look past the virtue signaling. This last story just sucked ass, and hopefully maybe the other one, this new one won't, and it'll be limited with the virtue signaling.
Well, the thing with Star Beast is you had, like, a lot of, you know, creative powerhouse, like, actors and stuff involved in it, right? You had Donna being Donna, which was kind of absent in this most recent one, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, Margulis playing the Meep did excellent.
Yeah.
But yeah, the storytelling has just been not there, right?
Right. It's just like they're concentrating too hard on all that other stuff and not thinking about a story. How can I put my stamp on trying to change the world instead of just writing good fucking science fiction. And that's all we ask. And I so blame Disney. I just keep blaming Disney. I pretend that this is all Disney's fault because they've just gone off the rails so bad. How could it not be? But it probably is all Russell's fault. But I mean, for all we know, he's getting a lot of pressure. I don't know. I know we've had stuff like this from him in the past, but it was very measured and very tempered, and it wasn't ridiculous. Jack Harkness is a good example. It didn't bother anybody because it was just there. It was just happening, and it wasn't just like ridiculously over the top with, you have to accept this, you have to accept this, you have to accept this, or you're bad.
I actually think it's a different issue. It's, people understand this idea of normalization and representation is important for these people that exist in our society, but they don't have kind of like the equivalent of a technical director on these issues, right?
Yeah.
They don't have like a trans person saying, okay, here's a little bit of input on this story, right? Like building a basic good story and then being like, hey,
the LGBT
is this representative of the trans experience, right?
LGBT plus whatever TD. I love it.
So I don't know.
Can we get the gay TD on set, please?
Yeah.
Gay TD. I like it. They need a gay TD.
I agree completely.
I think we should all start the petitions now to get the gay TDs, a place on the set and get them.
Or maybe even just some equivalent of the Bechdel test, right? Like, even though that doesn't really pass snuff, but some kind of a guideline.
We want Southern gays too, or we don't want Hollywood gays or anybody that's in around like the areas they're in, like Atlanta, for example, where they film a lot of stuff, and Hollywood and New York. We want gays that haven't been tainted by the allure of TV.
Give me that Northern Floridian gay guy.
Yeah, I want a very specific gay guy. I want cut off jean shorts.
Yes.
I'm looking for very specific.
Make it real. Make it original.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm not far off from the Tiger guy. What was the guy's name?
Tiger guy.
The Tiger King.
Tiger.
Not far off from the Tiger King.
Not far off. Yeah.
Oh shit! Maybe let's just bring him from jail and give him the first TD job.
Why not?
That's it. So, this is all I really have to say about Doctor Who. This is not gonna be a blowout Doctor Who episode. We got other shit to talk about, and I'm not gonna waste my time. But I did need to declare it dead, and we'll see if it can rise from the ashes. But right now, Doctor Who is dead.
Yeah,
I think many people agree with that. But anyway, on a much more cool note and a happier note, Grand Theft Auto 6, man, the trailer finally came out, and boy, is it fucking cool as hell. And it actually had to drop early because it got it got leaked.
Like everything else,
yeah,
it got leaked.
It got leaked, and so Rockstar was like, "Well, shit, if you're gonna look at it, then at least go here,
right?
Look at it. We're gonna get the analytics from it, by God."
A lot of Proud Boy type hate out there for it too, right? I saw a lot of people commenting like, "Was it everybody a person?" They didn't say person of color, obviously, but
yeah,
that was what they were saying. But the great thing was on, I think Reddit is where I saw it. They had a side by side of some of these scenes.
Yeah.
With like Vines or TikToks or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was about to say, have you been to Miami?
Right. Yeah.
You kind of hard pressed to find a true blue white. Yeah. There's not a lot of true blue white people just roaming around. At least that time of night, anyway. In some of the scenes I saw. Oh man, and what can you tell people? They're always going to find. It's just because of what we were just talking about. I mean, it's all over everywhere, so they just assume it's going to be in everything. When they're just representing, they're just showing you, hey, if go back and look at all our other game titles, Vice City and San Andreas, it's representative of where they're supposed to be at in real life.
Yeah.
So I think it was spot on.
It was a bunch of Goombas, yeah.
Shit, I was impressed at the chick on top of the car, man, twerking. I thought it was really solid animation. I mean,
I did too.
You know,
I
it's
think
mocap, but still.
they're not, trying to look for political signals.
Yeah, well, dude, I can't imagine. I would love to have been on that mocap set.
Right.
Whoever was even do the twerk mocap. She was good. Yeah. Whoever it was, they got somebody who was good at it. Yeah, I hope they have behind the scenes stuff on that. That has to get out there.
Of course, everybody complained, right? They were like, "Great, we got the preview," but at the end,
2025.
Yeah.
And listen, that's for Xbox and PS5 users. PC users are shit out of luck.
Yeah.
It'll be mid 2025 or maybe even 2026. I bet you it's going to be so late in 2025 it might as well be 2026.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It depends. A lot of games they either go for like a summer release or pre-Christmas.
Well, yeah. If it doesn't make summer, it's going to have to be Christmas the following year.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards more a Christmas time.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. So. Because I do know that Flight Simulator is aiming for a summer release of this 2024 edition, and I don't feel it in my bones. Unless they've been working hard on it in secrecy, which I'm hearing they have, then it might be more like Christmas 2024. But when you label it 2024, you're kind of putting yourself in a hole there. Like, we got to get it out at this time.
Speaking of games, we've got some more news. I wanted to plug this in because I didn't see it in there.
You did?
But apparently, Valhalla, a new DLC for God of War Ragnarok, is coming out, and it's kind of like their tower DLC, where you just go through different levels. As far as I can tell, I mean, it's a pretty short preview, but it's an interesting DLC for God of War.
I had not seen that at all.
Christopher Judge on the Game Awards was pretty funny. Came through. I think that's all I've got off the top of my head, other than the fact, of course, the big game that came through, Baldur's Gate 3, Game of the Year, a lot of other awards given to it. Nowhere on the list was Spider-Man 2.
Really?
Yeah.
How did Cyberpunk do? Anything?
Best ongoing game, I think.
Yeah, I was about that, and that's what a good title. It probably just came up with it recently in this, because I'm going to say it again. I've said it before in previous episodes, and we're speaking about Cyberpunk. They just had a major, massive update. This is supposed to be the end of the updates for this edition, this version of Cyberpunk. But
a lot of interesting. I read through the patch notes.
Oh man, it's huge.
I wanted that.
Like, dude, the subway thing is huge. Like, if you're the type of person that just once you've played the game and whatnot, and just want to fuck off in a world, that's fucking cool. Because I'm just going to get on that subway and just ride, and I just want to see the world, the city, the world, basically from a totally different perspective. What blows my mind is all this shit's been in here for years. And it just didn't work right for whatever reason, or they didn't feel it, it made the game any better or whatever. And then they're like, well, fuck it, we got it working now. Let's throw it on there.
Well, I mean, since day one, before day one, it's been a common complaint of mine in most video games, especially ones where you can drive around and listen to your radio, is the idea that you can't listen to music while you're not in the car. Right. And finally,
now you can take your Walkman with you.
Yes, please, Jesus.
I mean, it's not an actual Walkman game, but now you can get out of the car and you can still listen to your music. I hope, and I guess it probably doesn't, but it would be cool if they did have some kind of personal device. I mean, you are a walking cyborg, so it's really like you have an MP3 player in your brain anyway.
Just like at the end of the first act when you visit Vic, he's like, here's a little chip for your radio.
Here you go, man. Here's your MP3 player, bro. Yeah, we still use them in 2077. Right. We haven't come up with a better
found a better compression yet.
No doubt. But yeah, I have finally gotten the update, and I have not got a chance to install it, get it set up, and checked out yet. I'm looking forward to it because I haven't played in a couple weeks. I got Red Dead Redemption 2 on here.
Oh, nice.
I'm finally trying to give it a look. I've given it a brief look before, and I'm just a little farther than I was at that time. But
they also added some. I can't remember exactly what it was, but some features for modders. So that I think that's great. I actually went through and uninstalled Cyberpunk before the update, just so I could get in and play around with some, because I know if I left all my mods running, it would just bang.
yeah, I would love if they would take maybe after this year, because I was quickly. This is like the third launch of this title. The day after, or the day that the patch came out, they re-released with Phantom Liberty a new Xbox and new PS5 release. So I mean, it's just crazy, dude, that they've gotten. They deserve the award they got, because nobody has given more life to a game than CD Projekt Red, and they took it on the chin big time when they first came out with it, because it was just not where people wanted it. But man, have they more than made up for it. I've said this all before in previous episodes. And just about every damn update we get, I say the same shit. Like, I just cannot believe that it's had this life.
Well, I can. You don't just see it there. You see it in Baldur's Gate 3 as well. It had, it took a long time for them to actually come through with the launch. And it was plagued with problems and all kind of other stuff. And this is just kind of, I don't know. I kind of think it's going to be emblematic of, titles in the future.
I hope so.
I don't.
I like it a lot. No, I don't like
the turnaround, but it sucks when you invest and have to wait all this time, right?
Well, absolutely, but excuse me, I like it in the way. So, I mean, it's not like CD Projekt Red did it deliberately, but they put a game out there. It wasn't quite done. They had been having delays. You bought a game, and then you got, for the next 4 years, all these updates for nothing, except for Phantom Liberty DLC.
Right.
But in your case of Baldur's Gate 3, it was sold as a pre-release. And I think that should have been free up until that was over. If they'd have done it that way, I like this model of keeping games going like this. But I don't like that they sold it to you up front. That was bullshit.
Well, that was just a basic, funding model for them, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's kind of what I was saying about it being the norm coming up. People, it's not going to be like that. I think Baldur's Gate was still like a $40 game or something like that on pre-order.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have like 70. I think I saw somebody talking about $120 for some of these games coming out in the future.
Well, see, I'm okay with that too, because I don't like monetization, man. Monetization.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but what I'm saying is this is going to be the model. You're going to pay, the X amount of dollars for a game, and then you're going to be basically alpha testing it.
Yeah, no, I believe that is going to be more the way things go. But I guess I'm okay. What I'm saying is I'm okay with that versus you're going to hand me a base game for free and then I got to buy everything in it. Fuck that.
Right.
That sucks.
Or, subscription.
Yeah,
which is phenomenal to me, right? Like we started off with WoW, that was a subscription based MMO, got a lot of popularity and everything. And now that everything has moved towards, like car services and all this other stuff in the real world have moved towards subscription based, games really haven't.
Right. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't want to pay a subscription for my game, dude. I just bought a game. I want to play it.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay extra to play it. I just want to pay. I'll give you fucking $80. That's fine. It can be expensive. It better be a damn good game. But don't be coming after me later for more money because you added a fucking gun to it.
Right.
Just give me the gun, dude. I just paid $80 for your shit.
Or gate an actual satisfying ending behind DLC.
Yeah. The times they are changing, that's for sure. Where it's different. I think people are trying new things, and different ways of funding these things. Obviously,
yeah.
Baldur's Gate was the worst offender, in my opinion, because there's lots of people doing the, crowdfunding deal, alpha releases. I mean, over damn Steam. You see it all over there.
they kind of broke away. The model was already there, right? You had what did they call them? As opposed to pre-order, you had like this special pack that you could buy, and you would pay extra, right?
Yeah.
And you would get like a map, some artwork, just
Like a
blobbity blah
collector's
shit.
edition that got you an early access for like a week or something. That's common
Yeah,
now.
but I was thinking of something other than collectors. But yeah, it's along those lines.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. It was just
The Fanatic edition.
yeah, something like that.
The fucker that can't wait another week.
Yeah.
And has the extra $100 to blow on him. Yeah, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, most of us aren't.
Yeah, so that's about all I got to say about that, man. Just happy as shit. I can't wait to play this and see what it's doing. I would love to see this get a GTA Online type love. I wish to hell some servers would come up and we could get some kind of online deal going.
I am kind of dreading playing before the modders get a good hold of it, because the Kariznikov dodge is just the best movement in the whole game.
Really? See, I don't even know from all that stuff, man.
Not yet. You get a Kariznikov, you do a dash, and then you jump a certain way and time things, and you just like zip, zip, zip.
And see, I've never played like that. Like what they call it, the Sandinistan stuff.
Mhm.
Like I haven't. Sandavista, yeah. I hadn't done that. I hadn't done any of that. I just point and shoot like old fogey FPS player. I don't do any fancy shit. Every now and then I'll crouch and jump and shit.
Yeah.
But I haven't. I'm not saying I won't use them. I'm not against it. I just haven't got there yet. Or it's not the first thing that I'll put points into either. It's like the last thing I'll put points into.
If I understand correctly, if you're playing through Phantom Liberty, there are going to be places that are really going to require you to kind of like use all your moves and, kind of like.
So I need to get down.
Yeah.
Need to get down with the moves.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we wrap up today, some sad news. Norman Lear has finally passed away. I say finally, and it's not like we were all waiting for him to die. The man was 101 years old.
Yeah.
And I learned that I think it was, I don't know, about five or 6 years ago, they had come out with the remake of One Day at a Time. And my wife and I were watching it, and I saw his name in the end credits. I was like, Norman fucking Lear. Are you shitting me? I said, how fucking old must he be? And I looked it up at the time, and he was in his late 90s. And I was like, holy shit, and he's still working. And so I want to say his 99 and 100th birthday, he did those, what was it called? Live in front of a studio audience with Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. And they took old episodes of like one episode of All in the Family, one episode of Jeffersons, and they redo it with, your favorite actors of the day live. And it was pretty good. In fact, a couple of the episodes they picked were some of the racier episodes. I know because I watched both. They may have had more than one or more than two, but I saw two episodes of this. I know they did at least two of them. And they were pretty good. Jamie Foxx was on one of them, I think, doing a Jefferson episodes. It's like the only person that flubbed lines in any of the ones I saw, too, was him. And made a big deal about it, too. Like, this is live television, y'all. Just making it. Just laugh at me now, because I fucked up. Just laugh at me. But they made a point to say that he was 99 on that one. And I guess maybe the next one he'd have turned 100. So this wasn't all that long ago. And that's why I said finally. It's not like I'm not glad he's dead by any means, but Jesus Christ, when you're 101 years old, you worked right up to the very end, man. I mean, just
can you imagine being 100 or older and then sitting in front of these like stage lights that are just cooking your skin?
Dude, I mean, just amazing. I was just sitting there thinking about just being 100, dude.
Yeah,
just seeing 100 fucking years go by. That's crazy. And that man saw so many different things. Now, all of y'all know this man. You at least if you're, even in modern times, he like I said, he's never stopped working. But I mean, if you grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, you knew from the shows that he had. All in the Family was iconic. Maud, Good Times, The Jeffersons. Hell, All in the Family Maud and The Jeffersons are all in the same universe.
Right.
Like they could visit each other. They've all been on each other's episodes.
Was Sanford in the same universe, or was
I don't.
I want to feel like
I
there
want
was
to say
some
maybe
kind of
Maud came
crossover
into
with
his
that or
episode
something.
once.
Yeah.
One
Maybe.
of his. I don't know. The One Day at a Time. Of course, they had two of them. They remade it a few years back, and it's not bad. The remake's not terrible. They decided to go with a Puerto Rican family, which is fun. I mean, it's actually really fun. A whole different. I loved One Day at a Time growing up, and my wife and I actually recently rewatched most of them on Tubi until they did that weird thing where they'll take most of the episodes away except for like 2 seasons, and they're like the last 2 seasons instead of the first 2. Yeah, so we're hoping maybe they'll come back around again and we can finish the run. But yeah, and we mentioned Sanford and Son. I mean, those are iconic television shows, and that name, everybody has seen it at one point or another, Norman Lear. So I just wanted to say that I enjoyed almost every show that he made, especially the ones back then. And he will be missed. He left a legacy of television that I think could benefit many, many people nowadays. All in the Family for one, The Jeffersons for another. Good Times could certainly bring some reality, a little dose of reality to some of these people that think we're living in just this hellacious world. But yeah, he'll be missed for sure.
True. I do have a little anecdote here. I used to work with, I'm not really with, but I worked at a place where this guy came in, and I saw his picture today with the news, and I was like, man, looks just like this guy that you used to work with.
Yeah.
Just odd anecdote. I think that covers all your notes. There are a couple of things I wanted to bring up that I didn't see.
Yeah.
We missed, actually, just a little thing here. I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once recently, which is one of those weird things for people who are neurodivergent, which I hate using that word, but it's the only proper word to kind of
It's our word now.
Right?
Embrace it.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think you've seen it, right?
No.
So there's a new concept to me called Chekhov's butt plug that was in that movie. And
Okay.
if you know about Chekhov's gun, you could probably figure it out. Anyway, that was kind of weird. The other thing I wanted to talk about was comedy, and we could probably actually, I've done this in another episode. We haven't talked much about comedy recently, but Matt Rife caught a lot of heat recently on his special.
Oh yeah.
Because basically, Matt Rife is one of these comedians that's popular for doing crowd work. Crowd work is very different from traditional stand-up. And you can't just plug in one for the other, right?
Yeah.
You see a lot of these people that stick to the the joke writing, premise setup, blah 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 of that, hating on crowd workers because it sets up this expectation of this audience to heckle.
Yeah.
But by that same token, you can't come. Improv is important, but you can't come from a strictly improv background like he has, and just expect to have a great special. Just write one up.
Yeah, it's kind of unpredictable, shall we say.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's important to understand that most comedians previously, up until now, are a little more writers, right? It pays for them to be versed in improv, but they're writers first.
Dude, it's all writing for sure, and any stand-up comedian who's not like gigging a lot is writing, trying to find somebody to write for, punch up something, doing something. But yeah, it's a lot of writing.
Or just
for
being
somebody,
a writer's room.
Yeah, and I don't even, dude, I hated creative writing, all that shit in school. Hated that shit. But yeah, it's the nature of the beast, man, for real.
Yeah.
I had to learn to embrace it.
I don't know. I think we'll see something interesting because of this, because there has been so much improv going on. Crowd work is a big part of comedy these days.
Yeah.
I think viewing this, I don't know that I'd call it a flop or a failure, but fumble maybe would be a good word.
Fumble, yeah, that's a good one.
We'll kind of show people how to enmesh that, right? The writing and the improv aspect. And that's really all I got.
Right on, right on. Well, cool, man. We're going to keep it short and sweet then. And, guys, tomorrow, I don't even know what the name of the Doctor Who episode is. That's how much I fucking know and care. But hopefully, for David Tennant and Catherine Tate's sake, it is a good finale to their little 3-episode run.
Yeah.
That's all I can hope for. Knock on wood.
Same.
Yep. So,
fingers crossed.
Yeah, as always, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Be excellent to each other, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace out. Peace. See ya.